Hello, my name is Chris Park. I'm a mechanical engineering major at UCI, and I'm a recent transfer from IVC, or Irvine Valley College, which is a community college in Irvine. And this video is going to be about study tips for current community college students who are looking to transfer, who are taking engineering courses. So let's begin with why are engineering courses difficult? Well, through my personal experience, these courses require you to kind of build upon what you know about concepts from previous engineering courses, so you're kind of continuously building upon what you're learning, and it's really difficult to remember like what you learned from the previous courses. And also some of the concepts are sometimes difficult to understand, visualize, comprehend, so it often makes these classes a bit difficult. But for me, how I studied for these classes and courses at community college, I use study groups, so just finding someone or a group of people who are taking the same classes, so you can kind of teach each other concepts that you don't know, or just emphasize what classes or what concepts that you do know, just to reinforce the ideas. Also, it just makes it more fun, less stressful, and also you never know what you can learn from your student or your classmates as well. And also using a method called the Pomodoro method, which I still use here at UCI. So basically studying for 50 minutes and then taking a 10-minute break. I think you can do like 45, it doesn't have to be exactly 50 minutes. But I do 50 minutes on and then 10 minutes off. I do that twice, and then the third 10-minute break, I do a 20-minute break. And then I just keep repeating that. So having breaks like that, this 10-minute breaks is really crucial so that you avoid burnout. Also having really efficient note taking. So the keyword is efficient. In lecture you don't want to be taking notes on everything. You just want to make sure that you're taking notes on what the professor is saying, because most often than not the lecture notes itself are posted, or there's a video recording of the lectures. But what the professor is saying, or if it's like a recorded video, you might see what the professor, or hear what the professor is saying. But the most important part of a lecture is what the professor is saying during that whatever concept he's talking about. Or he or she is talking about. That's the most important thing, most important part of the lecture. So making sure that you're writing notes about what they're saying is really important. And also just key equations. If there's something bolded, like highlighted, make sure that you really, write that down. Make sure you really understand why it's important. And for me, I like to make 2 sets of notes. Again, one of them is just for, I get a copy of like the lecture slides that the professor normally posts. And just kind of write down like what the professor is saying again, and then I have a separate equation or a separate notes that's just equations that I use for homework practice, so I don't have to look back at the slides. And I use these these study methods in community college initially in my classes, and it worked really well. It got me to UCI. And it's so far, even at UCI, it's doing me well. Like I've been doing pretty well in my midterms, so again, like I would recommend doing this method. It's really, really helpful. You just basic like kind of time blocking almost. So yeah, just doing that. Just extra things, I guess, like just making sure that engineering is just all practice problems. Like as long as you do practice, like it should be fine. Just making sure that you're prepared for what the professor is going to test you on. Because let's say there's like a problem that you guys just didn't cover it, and you think you did really bad on the test because of it. More often than not, like the whole class probably like suffered with that problem too, or struggled with that problem. So as long as you really understand and really practice the problems that will be on the test, you should do great in engineering courses. So just focusing on that, and also on the study tips that I said, is really important. So yeah, my name is Chris Park. This is how to study at UCI or at community college or in general.